All right, bow straight into it. Let me just make sure I'm live. Me just make sure I'm live. I know I am, but I just want to be 100% sure, man. Cause boy, let's have a look. Right, boom, boom, boom. Just reacting. Okay, I'm live. Reacting to what's the title of the vid? Boom, 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 boom. New to this live stuff. I know I'm a bit late, couple minutes off it, but I was doing a mic check. Oh, there it is. So yeah, the title of the video is called Don Robbie building AFTV reggae roots and addressing controversies. So obviously when I see that title, I knew man was gonna refer to me in some way, and he obviously chose this way to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna put it on. I was thinking how to do it, whether to put headphones on. I don't want to get copyright stricken and that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the game now. Got my foot in the door a little bit. Big up YouTube. I'm gonna put the volume low. I've watched it through anyway, and obviously I've made notes of the timestamps, but I'm gonna put the volume low so I don't get copyright strikes and them things there. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. All right. So my timestamp was 104-ish, 1 hour 04-ish, which is about halfway through the video, in which he does his indirect thing, innit? So yeah. I probably need to fast forward this a little bit still. Wait. So I made a note of 108.56. Let me fast forward it. 108.56. I'm turning the volume down even more, bruv. I want to get no copyright strikes. You know, when he said that, I wanted to more so react to the bits where he's referring to me, like direct, you know what I'm saying? Which is probably in a minute or so. But with the stuff he's saying now, I know it's pretty much gibberish anyway. I mean, it's what else do you expect when you get your employee to interview you? I mean, it's probably damage control, really, isn't it? But just the fact that you didn't reference troops, you didn't reference Julian Becker, you didn't reference Abbi Summers, both of your colleagues. So a lot of key areas were not addressed, were not asked about. You chose to reference me, which not by name, but between me and you, we know, and people behind the scenes, you know, I'm the guy you're gonna refer to. We're gonna get to it anyway, but you skipped over the Turkish bit. You said I don't know Turkish, but you don't know me. And so if you don't know me, you don't know who I know and stuff like that, or you don't know what I know. You only know what I post on the internet, but I'm privy to a lot of information that I don't post on the internet. So like I know a lot of people that behind the scenes of your company. So just because I haven't made a video on it doesn't mean I don't. But anyway, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, man, I've always thought that the fact that, yeah, you always mention that you have, let's say, 20 to 25 members of staff. I think it's more so closer to 20 now. A few have left for whatever reason. Um, so all these roles, you like to employ people who are experts in their field. For instance, if you source a good, if you source a good editor, you employ them. If you source a good content creator, you employ them. Blah 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 blah. So these are things that I'm having to do myself, and you probably started off in that situation 12 years ago where you had to start filming from your phone. You was your own editor. You did your thumbnails yourself. You did everything DIY. But now, obviously, you're big time. You're now the legacy media, which you always like to claim Sky Sports and TalkSPORT are, even though you're always on there every other week, which is interesting. And you've actually referred to Sky Sports in this interview as well. But you'll probably be on Sky Sports. I can guarantee you'll be on Sky Sports Soccer Saturday in January, probably twice, because we've got Man United and Liverpool coming up, and you'll be on the sofa with them. But they're legacy media. So it's just strange how you refer to them as that in a negative light. But then when you compare me to you, you're legacy media to me, because the same way when you started, you saw yourself as the, Canvey Island to the Man United of the legacy media. The tables have turned. I'm now the Canvey Island, and you're the legacy media of the Man United, metaphorically. So, like, in a sense that legacy media in a gatekeeping context is you now. So obviously there's roots around gatekeepers without complaining. There's roots around it, and I'm going through that process now. But yeah, I'll elaborate on that in a minute. Echo chamber. You see, when he said this and when he said noise out there, I knew he was. You see, when he says like these phrases like people, echo chamber, noise, a lot of videos, da 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 da, pretending that he's talking about a lot of people, he's talking about me. So anyway, yeah, let me just carry on. So he started. So we're getting to the bit where he's gonna be direct at me, and I had it at 1 hour 8 minutes and 56. We're currently at 1 hour 8 minutes and 50 seconds. So the bit where he's direct at me is coming up now. So echo chamber, let's hear it. I know what happened. All right, cool. So yeah, I made a video with a similar title to that called whatever. I know the truth about Turkish and blah 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 blah. But you never mentioned the fact that, I don't want to mention him by name, but let's say other than the person that's from Cheshunt, stroke Waltham Forest, other than that person that gets all your views on a match day, the person that's directly underneath from the same country as you, let's say that, so everyone knows what I'm talking about, made a very similar video after watching my video titled, where is it? I know the truth about da 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 somewhere. I'll write it down as well. Where the hell is it gone? There it is, yeah. Oh my, OMG, the real reason why Turkish and James leave AFTV, is it Turkish and James' fault? So after he watched my video, because clearly he's watched it to title the video as that clickbait format, obviously, that's garnered him just under 50k views. So, but you choose to indirect me, or you choose to point fingers at me and say, oh, why are you making video? Well, wait a minute. He's made that video. 50k views, probably 150, 200 quid from the video. A lot of ads on it. But you choose to, okay, all right, let me just play. I don't know, Jack. Okay, you see when he's saying all this stuff, imagine now if one of the two people that left in that Ferrari in October, mid-October, during just before the international break, when Turkish and James left. Imagine they one day retort and be like, "What? There was no, there was no meeting. What's this guy talking about?" Like, but because you know none of them will speak, you can just say all these things. Oh, there was meetings. You don't know what. You're not privy to the meetings and da 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 da. But like, for instance, if James sat down, which I don't think he ever would, and just said, "All right, this is what happened," boom, 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 and then he said there was no meeting, I'll believe him because just for his nature, I've watched him for 4 years. I can kind of feel the type of character he is in it, and just the fact that he's left, and you could feel like there's a, I don't want to say bitter, but there's something there in it. There's like a friction. There's something there. He doesn't mention him. He doesn't reference it. You know what I mean? There's left on some uneasy terms. Like, but big up James because I've seen his algorithms on the next thing right now. He's been everywhere. He's been on TalkSPORT. He's been on the club. He's doing his thing with his podcast. He's on, he's on what's it called again? The Loose Cannons podcast with Turkish and Jordan. He's doing his thing, man. He's, you know what I mean? He's been leveling up. Big up James. But obviously I knew that. I'm not, like, this guy is a very talented individual, very nice guy, knows football, intricate tactical analyst. So it was always bound to happen. But yeah, let me just carry on. It'll be very unprofessional for you to go out in public and telling people what is going on. But you see, make a note of what he said there because later on in his monologue, he goes, "Oh, why didn't I just go up to him and ask him what happened?" But just now he says it'll be very unprofessional for you to go out. So in essence, you've admitted you won't tell anyone what's happened. Effectively, you'll say, "Oh, it's none of your business," kind of thing. But later on in the video, you go, "Oh, why am I making videos?" Even though you're in this industry, you know how it works. It's all clickbait. I mean, what are we doing here? This whole thing is clickbait. We want clicks to our videos. Thumbnails are clickbait. Titles of videos, titles of articles are clickbait. Everything's clickbait. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? So what are we doing here? What you on about? Anyway, okay, here we go. So when he says all of this, everyone and noise and outside, I've been saying this for months. I know you're talking directly to me. So like, I've mentioned just go on my shorts. You've been talking directly to me for time, through whether it be through your podcast, the outros of your podcast. But it's funny because you mentioned full circle moment. Well, I see this as a full circle moment for me because I remember when I first started this in August, the very first time it was the Villarreal preseason game. I remember it was a midweek game. And I remember when we finished filming, you just walked past us like it's some joke thing, like it's a little man thing, like what you doing, bro? You'll fizzle out in about a week or so, like because obviously there's been a few other people that have tried the thing, and obviously it's fizzled out for whatever reason, whether they're doing it on their phone, whether it's lack of inconsistency, whether it's whatever reason. Couple man have tried to do the filming, fizzled out. So I'll never forget just the way he just like walked past, man. Like, I was a little man and da 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 da. Given the fact that I spent the whole summer planning how I was gonna do this, and yeah, it's coming together a little bit, but there's a long way to go. But I noticed there was changes as time went on. He was like, "Oh, he's still here," kind of thing. And then it's like the people in and around you started getting intrigued. I'm not gonna. They know who they are, innit? The people in and around you says it in itself. intrigued, you know, preying the ting slightly, like, yo, this thing's building a bit of traction, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? What's the chat? Like, preying the ting, preying the setup. What am I using? How am I, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But then it became a thing where it's like, all right, cool, boom. So we're talking probably September-ish times. Then channels building, traction. And then obviously October, key moment for the channel. Well, I say each month, since I've done this, I'd say from September, October, November, and to now, there's been like a key prominent period of maybe a week or 10 days where it's just blowing the channel, you know, taking it to a different level, taking it to different heights, forcing people to take notice of it. You know, we're embedded in our Arsenal algorithm now, you know. That's not going to change now, you know. It's just going to increase. But anyway, forget all that. So I'd say October now. So it becomes kind of close to home because it's like, wait a minute. Yeah, obviously a person that is, how can I word this? I got to choose my words carefully. A person, let's say, that isn't your greatest ally, Mr. Lee Gunner, is someone you don't see, right? So I guess you can just not click his videos and he just don't exist in your eyes. And then obviously to a lesser extent, troops. I mean, obviously the thing is though, here's where it's a bit weird because it's like, if it goes through my portal, then you will see it because our algorithms are inextricably intertwined. Whether you like it or not, they're intertwined. So whatever I post, all your fan base see it, which has been a main reason why my channel's grown at the rate. Actually, a reason, I won't say a main reason, but a reason why the channel's gained so much traction is because of your algorithm, the Arsenal algorithm, and all the other algorithms I'm part of. They're all intertwined. So in essence, people like Expressions, if I post a video of his, it's going to get traction. I mean, the last one I put out for Expression got 50K. I think it's about a week, 10 days ago, something like that. The same with Troops. So you're going to see it. So you're going to see these videos. So that's what I'm saying. Whereas or the people around you will see the videos. Whereas if they post it, you just won't click their video. So that is the difference in it. So it's why it's kind of where you can't avoid me type of thing in it. So we'll get to what I mean. So now I would say when I found you stood up and took notice of like, yo, this guy is like, what's he doing? Like he's still about. He's been doing it for about 2 months, month and a half. And he's what? Who's this guy? So I remember, and you'll know you did this. It was the West Ham game, right? Where I interviewed Big Dave. You didn't interview Big Dave, but I did. And Big Dave is the West Ham man, innit? He's the of West Ham Fan TV. I got to interview him. So I remember after that, I just remember you stood like halfway between where you guys are at and where I'm at. And just stood there for about, I don't know how long it was, but you stood there for some time and you was like, yo, you didn't say nothing, and when you did that, I even mentioned to one of my guys, I was like, yo, you know, we're onto something for my man to like take notice, stand up and take notice of whatever we're doing. Is like, yo, okay, that's different steez. But okay, cool. Then I'd say after that is when all the furore, the outcry, the madness, the loudness of Turkish and James leaving. And obviously I'm called Hybrid. The channel's called Hybrid because I've got my finger in different pies. So at this moment, I was in my journalist bag, but you didn't know that I'm in a journalist kind of algorithm type of thing because of my background. But anyway, so boom. So obviously now I wouldn't say the first to kind of ascertain what's gone on with Jay. It was Turkish first. Ascertain what happened with Turkish. Someone posted it. But I think I posted it and it got different eyes. It got the culture's eyes on it, and then it just went nuts after that. So, but then it was actually crazy because at the time, YouTube were restricting me to the amount of videos I could post in a day. I think it was 10. So otherwise it would have, yeah, it would have done madness. But then after that, shortly after that, James left. Then I think shortly after that, it was understood that Jordan left somehow or some way, and then Graham Brooks, I think on the Sunday, because I remember seeing it on where I saw it. So I was like, yo, bruv, what is going on, bruv? It's a bit of a shambles. What's going on, bruv? Bruv, it was a shit show, cuz. But yeah, I mean, bruv. I need to take a drink, man. Bruv, I would say that 10 days, bruv, was a shambles. I mean, it must have, I don't know how you felt, boy, but bruv, it must have felt like the whole world was falling apart. And yeah, but yeah, that was that. So now we're here. We're here at the point where now, no, in fact, before we get to this bit, we had a discussion. Yeah, let's say that we had a discussion after the Tottenham game, but I think you're gonna mention that in a minute. So let me play the rest. People are making videos. People, you're talking about me. Oh wait, let me right. So he's getting to the Tottenham thing. Alright, cool. Wait, 1 second. Incident the other day.
I saw you had Turkish on your show. Yeah, right. So obviously Turkish moved on.
All right, so just let me kind of give a bit of context. So when he says incident the other day, he approached me with his entourage, right, after the Tottenham game, and he was like, "Yo, what's going on with all the videos?" And I was like, "What videos?" There's quite a few of them. And I was like, "Oh, you're making loads of videos. You only first of all, you're only talking about the videos because they're getting traction. If they were not doing nothing, you wouldn't talk about them. Let's have it right." So cool. Secondly, I'm not the only person doing videos, and I've already alluded to the fact that the person that gets the second most views on a match day also did a video with a similar title. So, did you? What word did he use again? Have a discussion or confront that person, or you didn't because he gets you views, which in turn gets you money, which in turn pays for your mortgage and your lifestyle and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, I don't know, man. It seems like there's a guy that calls you a walking, big up expression. There's a guy that calls you a walking Malteser, but I mean, it's coming like you're a walking contradiction, my guy. Because you've confronted me for a video title, yep. But did you confront, let's use that in quotation marks, did you confront the person that did this similar title, or you didn't because he's a cash cow, he gives you money? I don't know, it's just a question. But
he's doing his own thing now, right? And respect to him for that.
Let me turn the volume down.
Loads of people on that situation. Yeah. Lots of people, video after video, there's people saying, Robbie, come out and talk. Well, come out and talk about what? That's anything between me and Turkish. It's a personal thing.
Personal, professional thing. I guarantee you that Turkish ain't. Anyway, let me not say that. Let me not say that. I'm just gonna say that I'm confident that Turkish isn't your biggest fan and doesn't want to ever be. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, this is the juicy bit. You saw a guy the other day. So, all right, cool. Yeah, you're not gonna refer to my channel by name, And I've been thinking as well. I've been thinking in my head whether to never mention your, why should I, what's the word? Promote your thing, you get me? Like, if anyone comes on my channel and mentions your thing's name, I'm thinking of censoring it. But I don't know, I've been thinking about that. I'll give it more time on that one. But for you to have already said that you've seen all my videos, I'm sure you know what my channel is by now. I don't know, I could be wrong. Because you must know what to type in to watch all the videos you say you watch. But it's cool. I hear you. You're not gonna mention the channel's name. That's fine. We don't need your promotion, man. We're good. We're good over here, man. We're good. All right, cool. Let's see what he says. So I've done about 3 videos. This guy, which is me. All right, cool. Let's. I know the truth. The truth. Actually, let me get the title of that video, bro. Let me get the actual title. Because, where is it? In my video segment. So, I'll get the accurate title. I should have actually wrote this beforehand, but we shall find it. Because I don't know. I don't want to get anything incorrect because it's not good for my... where is it gone? So... I might have gone past it. No, I've gone past it. So it was something along the line. Okay, here it is. The real reason why Turkish quit AFTV. Yeah. So 8 minutes and 47 seconds, and it's got 11k views. So yeah, that just backs up my point. The fact that you're even talking about it is because it got 11k views. If it got 11 views, you didn't give a shit. Like, what are we doing there? Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. Yep. You did see me the other day. Wait, bother with these? You know, when he said that, I was thinking, what's the next word? Like, what, little man? What, dickhead? Like, brokies? Because you don't know me. you know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing there, bro? Yeah, you went over to me with your compadres, with your entourage, your cameraman, Big Marty, big old 6'6.5" Marty. Who else was there? Oh, the bankroller, Julian Becker. Who else was there? Couple, you know what I mean? Yeah, couple of them dons. We had a chat. Mm-hmm.
I see you do a video. You said you know the truth. And you chatting a lot of things in this video.
So wait, what? Wait, but you see, I read a comment that says he says a lot of things without saying anything, which is true. So what was I chatting then? Because you're saying all this stuff, but at least elaborate on one of these things.
But you see me. You've never once come and asked me anything.
But remember, back to originally earlier on in the video, I was saying, but you said that it's between you and Turkish, so it's no one else's business. So now, further on, 5 minutes later, why are you going, I've never once asked you anything? As if you're not going to say, first of all, I don't need to talk to you. But I mean, secondly, it's like, you've already said your answer. You're just going to be like, it's none of your business. So, anyway. Wait a minute. How do you know I don't know Turkish? What are we doing here? That's an assumption. And in fact, I even said that to you when we had this discussion. I'm not even going to go into what we spoke about because it's to do with Arsenal. Maybe that's for another video at a later date. But you make a lot of assumptions. And you know when people make assumptions, you know, they open themselves up for ridicule. I mean, how do you know I don't know Turkish if you don't know me? What are we doing here? And especially if you don't chat to Turkish. You know what I mean?
So what is this? What you know? You've done a video. Oh, it's the title. You know, Robbie is the title. So I said, well, basically, what you are telling me then is you're lying.
So what? Wait a minute. So I'm telling you that I'm lying. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, big man? I don't need to lie about anything. And anyway, you still haven't actually elaborated on the video and the contents of the video and what the lie was. If it was a lie, let's just play devil's advocate. I'm lying. So what am I lying about? And what am I lying about in the video? That's the question. So what you're saying is literally is begging more questions than answers, really. I mean, but anyway, let's carry on.
Because you know me, you've not come and asked me anything.
I know you. What? No, I don't know you, my friend. I mean, I know you as the founder of AFTV, but that doesn't mean I know you. We're not friends. We're not brethren. What? No, I don't know you, sir. Sorry.
You ain't spoken to Turkish, but you know the truth.
But wait a minute. How do you know I haven't spoken Turkish? That's the question. How do you know that? Based on what?
So what truth do you know? What? Then he started getting on all the defensive.
Well, I mean, there's always two sides to the court. You can say it's defensive, and I can say I'm asking you a question. So, I mean, six to one, half a dozen to the up. You can say it's defensive. I can say I'm asking you a question. And because you lack you can't articulate yourself properly, you started doing all this other weird stuff. But I won't go into that. But let's go on.
There's stuttering and things like that. And I just looked at this guy, so I said, so basically what you're saying is you're admitting you lied.
I'm admitting I lied.
That's an important thing to just tell people, yeah? To don't always listen to you. There's a lot of noise out there.
There's a lot of noise out there. Okay, cool. If we go by your wording, some of the noise was a question about what's going on with your how can I so you see, is this for this video? The questions. Let me just all right. So you say noise. So how comes throughout this whole video, almost 2 hours, you didn't reference, right? You didn't reference Abbi Summers, what she said when she was in her late teens, early 20s, whenever it was, 10 odd years ago. You didn't reference her, so obviously she works for you, right? She gets the eyeballs, she gets the male eyeballs, well, in quotation marks, she's the eye candy of the show of DR Sports, in quotation marks. So she gets the maybe super chats and this and that, whatnot. And it's not just you, TalkSPORT as well. So, how comes when all the when all her old tweets surfaced in May of 2025, you just kind of took her out the firing line, let the dust, die down, said you'll bring her back in August. After, I think, about a month and a half, you made a video saying, oh, yeah, people are talking a lot, but I've spoken to her behind the scenes, but she'll come back in August. She didn't actually come back in August. She came back in September. You brought her back, and, you didn't address why or nothing, because you're above that, right? Even though you said, in this video yourself, you said, why didn't I ask you about what happened with Turkish? But in a previous video, I can get the video up, but it's long. It's another time. You said, I'm sure people will know he's done this. You said that I don't need to address all the noise and, I've spoken behind the scenes and I'm bringing her back and blah, blah, blah. And she's made an apology and rare. So cool. So if you've got that as president, why would you act differently to anyone asking you about Turkish? So that's how I know you're waffling with that. Secondly, the Julian Becker context with, the Saeed situation and whatnot, where so what happened, obviously people know the situation last season, probably about this time last season, when we played Man U, that was literally beginning of the year. So at Old Trafford, Saeed did an interview with you. Saeed's wearing a badge or something like that, a Palestine badge, Free Palestine badge. And you were about to do an interview on Saeed TV. Julian just pops up and be like, you're gonna let him wear that or something like that. And I think he pointed it in it like a kind of with disdain. And it's like, bruv, what's going on here? So many things wrong with that interaction. I mean, first of all, it's his channel. Like, and secondly, he can wear what he wants. And thirdly, Robbie was clearly happy to do the interview with him, otherwise he wouldn't be there. He's a big man, you know, he's 53, I believe. So, but it was interesting because Robbie's body language was a bit like, you know, he was almost about to bust out, and then he waited for Saeed to go, oh, it's my channel. And then after Saeed, if you watch it, you'll see what I'm saying. It tallies up. And obviously, yeah, after Saeed goes, oh, it's my channel, Robbie kind of shakes around a bit and goes, yeah, it's his channel, man. And he tries to smile it off and that. But before that, it was awkward as hell because he didn't know what to do. And obviously, it's well known that Julian Becker is a backer of the channel. He pumps money into the channel. He's a very wealthy man. And he gets loads of contact. He's got a lot of contacts. For instance, he's got contacts at like Bournemouth where he can. Anyway, let me not go into that. But he's got contacts in it. I know that for a fact. So you don't want to do anything to kind of antagonize Julian and whatnot. So after that, remember I've already mentioned the fact that he took Abbi out of the firing line. And I think this was after Abbi's situation was after the Julian one. I think the Julian one was about March, April-ish times because we played Man U and it was 1-1, I think. We drew, right? So the Julian situation was a madness. Like, you know, it was, bruv, the comments were peak. And the comments are still peak to this day. But I mean, obviously they fizzle out. So as you would know, so I'll tell you what happened, what he done. So he took Julian out of the firing line. So, you know, when they do the away games, he was always there, but he was just not on camera. Just like he was always in and around it, but just not on camera for a bit. So I think he took him out of the firing line for about 1.5 to 2 months. And then he kind of slowly reintegrated him back in because obviously you can't take him out permanently. No way. I mean, he funds the channel. What are we doing here? So yeah, and then obviously what he done, he blocked comments for any like interview, any fan cam that Julian done. He blocked comments because every comment was peak, bro. You know, you don't try to mash up a man's mental health and that, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to mash up a man's mental health out here. So, but then over time, what they done was they blocked certain words, like certain keywords. So if they're cussing him out, they'll block that word until it becomes a thing where it's like all the cuss words, all the curse words are blocked. You know what I mean? So people got to get creative with cussing him out, man. It was peak. So yeah, so there's them two situations. I don't want to go into the Claude one because that's a deep one. So RIP to Claude Callegari. I'll leave that one there. It's just been bare things. Oh yeah, address the troops thing. Troops didn't get a mention. Address troops. Big up troops every time. So troops has put out a video, which you would have seen because you seem to watch every other video that I have on my channel, saying that, yeah, address it because I know you're probably going to watch this as well. Or your people around you will watch it and tell you about it. One of the two. One or both. So Troops has clearly said that, because funnily enough, in the Bias Premier League show that you did with Ty, I remember watching that and you was like, oh yeah, me and Troops are cool and that. And I was thinking in my head, bruv, like, you're not fooling me because I can just feel the vibe that you're not, because I know Troops has been in around the stadium and not come on the channel. So I was thinking, bruv, there's something going on there. And I believe, personally, that it's, and I'm allowed my opinion, just like everyone else's, except, you know, whenever I give mine, you don't seem happy about it. But anyway, I think you're not best pleased when Troops went off to Barstool in America, and was it 2021 or 2020? One of the years. It was either 20, it was around COVID time. When he went to Barstool, yeah, he was like, okay, yeah, man, yeah, big up, man, congrats. I don't think he was best pleased. And obviously, his time with Barstool came to an end, and he's back in London doing his thing now. And I think from there, that little kind of period, I think that's where it went pear-shaped. I believe I was in and around it when Troops was last on. I remember it as well. It was the Southampton game. I'm not 100% sure if it was his last appearance on it, but it was one of his last appearance. And it was the Southampton game where we drew 3-3 in 2023, where we were losing 3-1 and got 2 late goals, and Troops just was like, yo, the title's over. I was right next to him. So I think from there, I don't think he's appeared, but he's been in and around the stadium. So I knew that obviously there's been some kind of falling out. I knew that in my head, but I just, didn't say nothing. And I think at the time, I didn't really have a forum. I didn't have my own kind of voice, And I probably wouldn't have said nothing anyway. So why didn't you address the fact that Troops has said you just kind of giving him the cold shoulder, you're not taking his calls, you're just kind of brushing him aside and stuff like that? How comes you don't address that? But you addressed the time where Troops asked the question, where was AFTV when Ty had this situation with the stewards? You addressed that because you saw the video that is, even to this day, it's getting traction. Like, it's probably, I think it'll be on about 55K. And it grows by the day. And that he said that was in beginning of November, in and around the Sunderland game with the Ty situation. So I'll say a month ago. Yeah, you definitely addressed that in one of your podcasts. You was like, I can't believe certain man are saying that, where something along them lines, but you're referring to Troops, but you didn't say him by name. So yeah, you don't address that. Anyway.
People claiming this and know nothing. Yeah. Right? And just because you don't maybe hear me come out and say this, or other people come out, listen. In businesses, people move on. Naturally move on. It's like football, isn't it? Yeah. Football, you'll have a player.
And I know, just based on how you are and speaking to all the people in and around you, that I know it's for a fact, speaking to enough people in and around you, so I can say it's for a fact that you don't kind of like the idea of people kind of, how can I know what I'm trying to say, but I need to word it like proper to the point. So there's always going to be a friction with people working on their own endeavors whilst with you. So I think that's been a kind of contributor in something along the lines of why Turkish and James have gone. So in a sense that when people, I'll give you an example. So for instance, and you'll notice this when you watch their certain videos, people are getting their names in brackets now because those individuals have been on my channel. And now I'm going to speak to the guys to get this known for fact, but you're starting to see their names in brackets now. Before, you never saw their names in brackets. However, after they've been on my channel, their names are in brackets. Now, this could be one of two things. It could be that, because I've actually mentioned this to him, that people come on my channel. My channel is about empowering the person on there, allowing people to understand who they are, what they're about, where to find them, not just a football chat, It's almost like a mini documentary, a mini interview in 10 minutes. So you never used to do that. You just want to get their opinion on the game, 3 minutes, and they bust out, and then no one knows who the hell they are. So I've had 2 people that are regulars on my channel that have gone on yours, and now all of a sudden their names are in brackets. Magic. So my point is, your thing's just about growing your thing, innit? Growing your channel. But the people that come on it, there's not an emphasis on them being able to grow their channel while they're on yours, if that makes sense. They can only grow their channel while they're in their own time. But now this is where the battle comes in. Do they have enough channel to focus? Do they have enough time to focus on their own endeavors in the meantime? Or do they have to now give all their time, or the vast majority of the time, to your channel, so yours grows and theirs can't? So they're just kind of almost like a pyramid scheme in a way. So it's like you get bigger and bigger and bigger, and if anyone else wants to grow, there's not enough time to kind of hone and craft their own endeavors, their own channels to build. So in essence, you become the juggernaut and everyone's a little man, in essence. Or I could be wrong. I mean, feel free to say I'm chatting rubbish. Feel free to say I'm chatting shit. But yeah, I'll leave it as that. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But I know it's true, but I mean, everyone else can say I'm lying because he's got 2 million subscribers and I'm growing. Just like he was 12 years ago. But cool. All right.
You've been great at a club. Look, Mo Salah at the moment, he's great at Liverpool. He may move on at the end of the season. He may think to himself, my time has come, the club and him might naturally move on. That happens all the time in business, in football, in sport. For some reason, it might not be his problem. I'm going to, because wait, we've got some people out there. Just a little video now, put a video out.
Okay, I'm going to get cussed by Matisse now. I'm getting cussed by Matisse. Like, those people, he's going to cuss me out. All right, Matisse. Wait. You see, all right. I reckon me and you would get along really well. Like, I see like there's I can understand a kind of level where I will get on along in it. Just because this is on the internet and my man's next to you and stuff, and he's your employer, I hear that. But I feel like behind the scenes, I can see like you're someone that I'll get along with. I've respected your journey and things like that. But one thing I'll say is I haven't made any monetary gain. That's one thing I'll tell you at this moment in time. I haven't made any money from any of the videos I've done. In fact, I've spent quite a bit of money on the whole process of setting up the channel and getting it to where it needs to be. So but yeah, one thing's for sure, I've not made a single dime from anything yet. And especially Matisse, yeah. I know you grew up in Forest Gate. I grew up in Forest Gate as well. So there's a lot of things we have in common that I'm not going to go into on the video. But trust me, I respect your work, and I mentioned it in other videos as well. But yeah, it gets a bit weird where like it's on the internet, and you know, obviously your boss is there trying to do damage control and trying to kind of paint me as some, you know what I mean? Yeah, Zimmy. But yeah, man, trust me, man. To hopefully go viral, but this is the point. So, do you not think you're trying to hopefully go viral with this video, especially with your titles, building AFTV, addressing controversies, or for instance, with your thumbnail when you had Turkish and you had, and I memorize it off by head. You had Turkish in the thumbnail on the right side, and then you had him holding, you had someone holding AFTV microphone, and then you obviously had the X on the AFTV symbol. Is that not what do you call it? I've gone blank. Is that not, bro? I gone blank. I can't even think right now. Clickbait. I got so blank, bro. Cause let's have it right. What he wants to do, he wants to nip it in the bud. He wants to snip the channel from the roots so it doesn't grow. Cause he knows this thing is gonna grow. And I've said it to him that only God can kind of halt this pace what this channel is growing at, not him. Cause gatekeepers, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay, one thing for sure, I'll dispel that myth. If you're talking about me about growing an attachment for him, definitely not. Trust me. Trust me. Trust. I give it to Matisse. Yeah. You see, from his like body language and just demeanor and his aura, yeah, you could tell he generally is in the middle. Like I know for a fact he's close, proper friends with. I've said it in so many videos with Turkish. That's like his guy in it, older brother type thing. But obviously, I know my man's his employer and that, but there's no real. You can sense a feeling like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this guy, but he's my boss. But I think he genuinely likes both of them. I'll be real. So literally bang in the middle. Well, I think all things encompassing is probably more on Turkish's side, but obviously he's not gonna kind of let that be known in a video which is understandable. But you gotta understand it from Matisse's point of view, where he's sitting next to a person who is kind of giving him the jump started his kind of career. And I know he has his unbelievable channel, the Chelsea channel MAH, in which he's just growing at an amazing pace. Just hit 150 subscribers, 150k subscribers, that is, which is unbelievable. But obviously, it's giving him the kind of resources. He probably owns his house now. Look at the studio setup. It's giving him and I'm sure that income has come from working with both Robbie and Turkish with the Big Six show and DR Sports on a daily basis. The money he's making from that plus his own channel changed his life changing. From Forest Gate to the world. E7, come on. I used to live in E708R. So if you know, you know what I mean. My mom, yeah, lived there for about 7 years growing up. So yeah. All right, man. That's me, man. I'm out of here. All right, boom. You sign up. Bow.